Get Tielemans. Liverpool have been told why it would be wise to sign Tielemans from Leicester City. The Reds were associated with Tielemans throughout the summer transfer window and were said to be a great move for the troubled midfield. Apart from Liverpool, it was another club at Arsenal that took an interest in the player. Tielemans' current contract at Leicester will expire at the end of the season. On the last day it was reported that Foxes would accept a £25 million bid for the Belgian international, but the Belgian player remained at the King Power Stadium. Liverpool waited until the last day to bring in a new midfielder, but closed the transfer window in the form of a season-long loan deal. Arthur Melo came from Juventus to the end of the campaign, and the Italian club said the Reds had the option to make the deal permanent. Although Tielemans could sign for a new club as a free agent next summer, former Liverpool defender Glenn Johnson thinks a move in January would be wise for his old club. Johnson added why he thinks a new midfielder is needed at Anfield. "I would definitely like to sign him. If it's safer to secure it now and pay a small fee, then I'll do that. I wouldn't risk letting someone else have him for free. I think he's the kind of player who can fit into any team relatively simply. We know that Liverpool have a lot of injury-prone players in that area. This is hindering the stability of the game. They definitely need a few midfielders there. Tielemans would make a difference in that area." It was clear why Liverpool were interested in him in the summer. Tielemans' defense, his effective passes to depth and his mindset remind me of Thiago's game. I think Tielemans is a perfect alternative to Thiago. He performs his role as deep playmaker in both players and makes effective passes to penetrate the opponent's defense. Also, Tielemans as shooting the threat is also an important plus for Liverpool. Will Liverpool seize this opportunity? We'll see, but a move in January and a free deal from the end of the season would be an excellent strategy. Do you think Liverpool should sign Tielemans? Liverpool should sign £13 million transfer for Aurelien Tchouameni alternative in Darwin Nunez. Throughout the summer, Liverpool had a clear goal in mind. In the first months of the transfer window, the club followed Aurelien Tchouameni. However, the French star player chose to join Real Madrid and the rest is history. Liverpool were left to struggle in the last minutes of the window to take down Arthur Melo, and Julian will know that this summer was wasted as a huge missed opportunity to fix a gap still very present in the squad and evident by the start of the season. Unfortunately, there's currently no time other than internal to fix this, but Ward could dive into the transfer market in January and do so by making a move for a player from a well-known place. Ward's knowledge and connections with the Portuguese league are well documented. It was evident in Luis Diaz and Darwin Nunez, with the last two major signings outside of England coming to Anfield for permanent deals. The duo were signed by Porto and Benfica respectively, meaning that Sporting is the only major club in Portugal where Liverpool has not signed a player under Ward. However, this may change. In fact, Ward turned his attention to another Uruguayan international who could be the perfect Tchouameni alternative to heal Liverpool's wounds. Manuel Ugarte has been in sensational form this season. We've said in the past that he was seen as a potential candidate for Liverpool over the summer, but the Uruguayan international has gotten even more attention since the start of this season. Ugarte ranks as the third best midfielder in the league for 12.3 successful defensive actions per 90 minutes and has also recently stood out in the Champions League against Tottenham as well. Ugarte completed 50 of the 56 pass attempts in the game, winning 6 of 9 duels, 4 interceptions and 3 tackles. It was crucial to ensure that Sporting recorded a huge upset against the Premier League side. Still only 21 years old and worth £13 million by Transfermarkt, he is the midfielder that should be on Liverpool's radar in the January window. Of course, with a contract up to 2026, Liverpool will have to pay above odds to sign Ugarte, but given his form and ability to read the game and contribute to the defense, it's exactly the type of player Jürgen Klopp needs right now, and the same as Tchouameni in the fabric. He is undoubtedly already following closely, as he knows that he prefers Julian and players in the Portuguese league. Jürgen Klopp pointed to the new Liverpool lineup with a 25-minute look at his future plan. Sometimes, when Liverpool are looking for an equaliser or a forward goal, Jürgen Klopp pulls out a midfielder and brings in another attacker. For example, when Fabrizio suffered an injury in the Merseyside derby earlier this month, Klopp could have turned to another midfielder like James Milner or Arthur. Instead, he made a very aggressive change by sending Roberto Firmino to form the offensive quartet. Harvey Elliott later returned to an unconventional midfield role alongside Fabinho, and unsurprisingly, the balance didn't seem quite right. But against Ajax on Tuesday, Klopp could call a much more natural partner for Thiago, who has experience playing 4-2-3-1 from his days at Bayern Munich. In the middle of the second half, Elliott and Diogo Jota played around 25 minutes, paving the way for Firmino and Darwin Nunez, as Liverpool were locked in 1-on-1 and trying to suppress their dominance at home. So how did 4-2-3-1 work with one of the Reds' key players, Thiago, back to the sidelines? They stood close enough to form a wall in front of the defense, limiting the dreaded pass threat and allowing Liverpool to keep the pressure on Remco Pasvier's goal. The only times they vacated those positions was when Joel Matip stepped forward, Fabinho fell for cover, or Thiago had the ball and had room to run before choosing a pass. What about the front four? Many advocated the move to the number 10 role for Firmino, apparently a natural shift from the fake 9 position. While his goals and assists look good this season, 5 of those contributions came against Bournemouth, and the numbers hide their declining performance levels at the front. A positional change could be a way to revive him, and he's probably the best candidate for the role on the current roster, but Carvalho could certainly play there as well based on his successes at Fulham, and could be the best way to use Elliott. There were few surprises about Firmino's fluid approach on Tuesday. There were moments when he fell into midfield to create a temporary 4-3-3 and pushed alongside Nunez to create a 4-2-4. There were almost 3 roles in one role. This is how 4.2-3.1 worked when Liverpool had the ball. When some fans called for a pre-season shape change, it was probably the combination of players they envisioned. The question now is whether Klopp will be willing to use it from the start, or whether it will be largely confined to the second half of the matches when he has the responsibility to score at Liverpool. It will take some minor tweaks from Tuesday's template, but there were certainly some encouraging signs.